I want to share a few facts about refugees because too often in our world, especially when there is so much information thrown at us and words casually thrown around, we don't understand, and sometimes we ourselves misuse terms. There are now an estimated to be more than 80 million people who've been forcibly displaced due to persecution and violence in our world today. 85% of refugees are being hosted in what we would consider developing countries, largely because of the geography that these are the countries closest to the conflict zones where people are fleeing for their lives. 68% of the world's refugees come from just 5 countries: Syria, Venezuela, Afghanistan, South Sudan, and Myanmar. 40% of refugees are under the age of 18. Most refugees, almost more than half of refugees, are children, in fact. Here in the U.S., we've been resettling refugees for decades, especially after World War II, the resettlement that was the greatest benefit to the Jewish people in America, when Congress enacted the first refugee legislation providing refuge for over 650,000 displaced Europeans. And yet, as we look back on our history, knowing that 650,000 was not nearly enough, we've seen a dramatic drop in these most recent years of refugees being welcomed to our country. By comparison, in 2016, 85,000 refugees were welcomed, and just last year, the number fell in part due to the virus, but also due to other political factors, to the fact that we only had just under 12,000 refugees. And yet, what we know is that those who are refugees in our country are some of the most vetted individuals who enter our country and undergo security checks. They're vetted by the Department of Homeland Security, and on average, 82% of them participate in the labor force, which compares to just 62% of the national average of adults. So tonight, we turn our focus to the great importance that that legislation played in the building of our community and to how we can help other communities find refuge as we have in this country of ours.